Welcome to Fourth and Forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network. Join hosts Dan, Richie, and TD as they break down the latest news and storylines across the NFL, featuring game predictions, breakdowns, heated debates, live Patreon callers, and everything in between. Catch Fourth and Forever every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of your favorite NFL news show on the internet. Fourth and Forever Roundtable Sports, real coverage from real fans. We have some breaking news we're going to open the show with today. There's a quarterback change. The Cincinnati Bengals, a very rare interdivisional trade that we're going to unpack ad nauseum. First off, let's see how the boys are doing. TD, what's going on?
My beautiful day, great day. We got great football last night. I know we're going to get into that next after we get the breaking news. But listen, that's the excitement about the show on a normal basis. We get to talk about the great games that we get to witness and all the NFL news. That's why I just love Fourth and Forever. And I know everybody watching right now loves it as well. So let others know that we're right here to provide great content for them.
Richie, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm absolutely loving the routine that we've developed with this show every single day, every weekday. We're live talking all things NFL with the homies. And when I say homies, I'm not just mentioning Dan and TD. I'm talking about Go Pats. I'm talking about Bills Mafia. I'm talking about King Lowski. I'm talking about Knock Andrew, Knicks 16, Linda Jackson, Chris O. Right? We got a community here, and I just want to give them all a shout out. We appreciate you guys tuning in as always. So let's go. And I will also say this really quick, if you don't mind. TD, with basketball season right around the corner, I kind of miss Wake Up and Ball because I'm getting back into my Knicks media flow, and I'm like, I got to talk basketball. Remember when we used to do that every morning?
Well, first off, what did the second and third best basketball player of all time say at noon today? Didn't he have an announcement or something?
Yeah.
Did he do it?
See it, or you're asking what it was?
I'm asking. I didn't see it. I got to watch the second best player for
it. Second best player is a big deal. It's still like second. I mean,
yeah, you're right, Rich.
I mean, let's just not just pretend the second is the best, first is the worst. But no, it was a. What do you think it was, TD? Come on. Do you have any idea what he's talking about, Dan? So LeBron James basically
decision number two.
Decision number two, and he had the decision when he decided to go to the Miami Heat. He redid it. He marketed it. I got a decision part two. And what do you think it was? It was an advertisement.
Oh my!
It was him launching a LeBron James Hennessy bottle. That's all it was. It was a Hennessy collab. So it was an advertisement. He got paid millions of dollars to do that.
Well, hey, you know what, man? Like, you can hate the player, but don't hate the game. That is wonderful clickbait right there. And
right when I saw, I was like, of course that was. That's pretty good clickbait.
Dude, really, at the end of the day, that's precisely what we need to do. If Wake Up and Ball does come back, I think we have to make it a basketball show, though, like basketball only, because I feel like we have way too much redundancy, like with Fourth and Forever. I feel like Wake Up and Ball needs. That's why it didn't really work.
Only. Or we get people that it's not TD and I doing it, because it's like me and TD talking NFL in the morning, and then us talking NFL game with you later on. So that's why it kind of didn't work.
It's that, like, maybe Wake Up and Ball, like, needs to be another football show, and we just get two other people to talk ball in the morning. You know, we could be interested. But let's go ahead and talk about this. The big story of the morning, it broke a couple of minutes ago. Joe Flacco is now a Cincinnati Bengal, my friend. The Bengals, for the past couple of weeks, including Zach Taylor, he ended up teasing the fact that he wasn't necessarily committing to Jake Browning for the remainder of the season. And lo and behold, they make a move. They sent over a 5th-round pick in exchange for Joe Flacco and a 6th. A lot of storylines coming out of this move from Cincinnati. But here's the deal, right? This does nothing for the Cincinnati Bengals. This does absolutely nothing for that team. You look at Flacco, right? He's coming from behind a way better offensive line than Cincinnati has to offer. And he was struggling. His old ass was out there struggling. I love that T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are on the team for him. But do we really think that Joe Flacco is going to improve this team's chances by any stretch of the imagination? I like their effort, right? Especially since the front office hasn't been able to hit on a single draft pick for the past 3 years. Might as well shell out that draft capital Flacco's not saving this team. It doesn't make sense to me. This does make for a pretty interesting storyline with Shedeur Sanders is now the official QB2 for Cleveland. We'll save that for next. But let's go around the table and talk about this. Was this a good move for Cincinnati? Does this change your perception of this team? Richie, talk to me.
Yeah, it does a little bit, just from the standpoint of the Bengals, as we know, have a really good system around the quarterback position. Outside of the offensive line, they got the weapons, and they already have 2 wins. So what are they, 2-3 now? That's not far off. They're not like 0-5 or 1-4. You know, they're right in it, and the AFC is wide open. The Bengals are trying to stay afloat because another thing you have to add, Joe Burrow's not done for the season. Joe Burrow's coming back. And the Bengals are trying to make sure they're at least in the hunt for when Joe Burrow does return. So this is one of those things that I think it's a low risk, high reward. It's an upgrade of Jake Browning. Jake Browning had a cool moment last year. He's like, you shouldn't have got me. And now he's just been like trash, right? So I think that, you know, Zachary brings up a great point. Are we, Jamar Chase fantasy owners, happy with this Joe Flacco move? I would say yes. Joe Flacco slings it. And when Joe Flacco was with the Jets, Garrett Wilson was going off too. So I think that for fantasy perspective with Jamar, I like it. He's not a great quarterback, Joe Flacco, but he just lets it sling. He lets that thing sling, and I don't think Jake Browning was able to do just that. I don't see the Bengals winning a bunch of games now all of a sudden, but it gives them a better chance with Jake Browning. That's my thoughts.
See, one thing that makes me optimistic is that I did draft Jamar Chase first overall in fantasy football this year, and he's been a no-show. Although that I have come off of an incredible victory off of fantasy football this previous week. But yeah, dude, you know what? I don't really see this translating into wins for this Bengals team, but I don't know. Let's see if this experiment works. I doubt it, though. TD, what's up?
The Bengals are back, baby. They are back, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, is Joe Flacco great? No, but he better than Jake Browning. He gives them the best chance to win right now. And with these weapons, you got to keep them happy, too. You didn't waste all this money on Jamar Chase and T. Higgins just to let them sit over there and rot until Burrow gets back. You need a guy who can come out here and maybe go 500 until Burrow gets back. When is Burrow even expected to come back?
December range.
Yeah, like
Best
for
case
my
scenario,
understanding,
December.
wasn't it like December 7th versus Buffalo or something? Everybody was eyeing that day. And that's 5 games left. That gives them 5 games left. So they got 7 games right now. And when you look at those 7 games, you can't tell me you can't tell me he can't beat the Jets. I'm sorry. You cannot tell me that. You can't tell me he can't beat the Bears potentially. You know, and then you got games like Green Bay and Pittsburgh twice, you know, division rivals. Those are tough games, but they're division rivals. It could happen. So all he has to do is win 3 games. 3 out of 7 games gives them 5 wins, and then they hope Burrow can go 5-0. And that's a long stretch, but you got to give the team a chance. And who's to say he won't win 4 games? Maybe even 5. You don't know. They got weapons. He's going to sling that rock. They might put up some points. He going to have games where he look phenomenal with those weapons, and he going to have games where he throwing picks with those weapons. But this is just a matter of, can you win us 4? And if you get 5, oh my gosh. But if it's 3, that's tough, but it is what it is. Like that's all they're asking for, is still to have hope when Burrow comes back. So listen, man, this was a perfect move. Expiring contract. I'm sure Atlanta's paying a lot of it. And they'll be fine. I think that you know what? People on their schedule were like, oh yeah, the Bengals win. Now it's like, well, it's gonna be a little tougher game. So I like this for the Bengals. Don't give up. You done put too much money on this year to just say Burrow killed it. No, this is the perfect move for the team.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's not just it, because another storyline coming out is that Shedeur Sanders is now QB2 for the Cleveland Browns, right? And look, like we were talking about how Dylan Gabriel Of course, not helping his team get a victory over in London was not all that bad. However, I'm still kind of curious, right? I am still of the belief that Shedeur will get a shot. And I'm kind of curious with you guys to see what game will we see Shedeur get his shot if we do not trust the Cleveland Browns to go on any sort of a win streak. They have the Steelers next week away, which is less than ideal. You have the Dolphins. You have the Patriots. You have 2 games, I think, that are pretty winnable. Well, actually, this Dolphins game. Pats game should be interesting with the Browns defense. The Jets, and then the Baltimore Ravens. My guess, hear me out, Shedeur is the starter for the Cleveland Browns by November 23rd against the Las Vegas Raiders away. TD, thoughts?
First off, I have a really bad.
I want to go.
I have a really bad admission right now.
Go ahead.
Somebody sent me the wrong image of the breaking news, and you want to know who they sent me?
Who?
That whole time of what I was talking about, I didn't know I was talking about Flacco.
Yeah, you mentioned the Falcons. You thought it was Kirk Cousins?
They sent me Kirk Cousins. I'm thinking we were talking about Kirk Cousins.
To say.
You did mention Falcons,
God.
And I was like,
man, the Bengals screwed, man. Why would they bring in Flacco?
Yeah, he's changing it all. He's changing his. Oh, wow.
No.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
What did you see?
That's why when you said Shedeur is QB2, I'm like, what's going on? And then I'm like, oh, my gosh. Are we – bro, the people, man, this AI stuff is getting ridiculous, man.
It is. It
Listen,
is, actually.
I'm on the wrong. I'm thinking that we were talking about in Atlanta. That's why I mentioned Atlanta. I'm thinking we talk about Kirk Cousins. I'm like, man, that's why I said they'll pay some of the salary, this and that. Oh my, Bengals done. Sorry, ignore everything I just said. The Bengals are smoked. They don't have a shot. Flacco is done. Okay, I'm talking about the wrong quarterback. Shedeur being number 2. Let's move on then.
No, but that is a real problem though. My poor dad gets faked every day with
you
fake
see the
news
animal
on
fakes
Instagram.
and stuff,
Oh yeah,
like with the babies on the porch and all that.
You see the food talking?
No,
That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It's getting.
It's like a potato, like is talking to you, and it'll feel so real.
Oh my God!
So
like
with ChatGPT, so their new video system is called Sora 2, Sora 2, and I saw some video on TikTok where like. It looked like this one random guy, like normal looking guy. It was clearly not a computer speaking. He had all of the bravado. He had the personality, and he was going off on a 1.5-minute rant of how AI is scary and how he can't tell the difference between an AI video and or a regular video. And the last 3 seconds of the video, his face exploded into spaghetti.
So you're watching it thinking it's real.
You were watching an AI video. You thought it was somebody complaining about how crazy AI videos are, and then all of a sudden, dude's
ended up being
face was spaghetti.
AI. Wow.
I was like,
see,
dude,
that got me because they had the jersey swap and all. And the crazy thing is, I was looking at the chat and people like, TD is kidding, right? Is he joking? Oh my gosh! I'm like, hey, people can't stand other people's opinions. I think he's a good quarterback still. And sure enough, that's on me, man. But into Shedeur Sanders being number 2, Dan, the timeline might have just moved up. The timeline might have moved up more than we ever thought. It might officially be somewhere around week 9 now, 8 or 9. Because, and let me tell you why, because it's not just Dylan Gabriel, how he plays moving forward. Any injury risk and you put that kid on the field and he shows spark, you can't go back. Anything that happens, like this is and you know what? This is good. They are smart. Get rid of Flacco. You got your 2 young guys. Shedeur is the official number 2, backing him up. Now, if they bring in another quarterback and still keep him as emergency, then they disrespected him officially. I've always been one of those individuals that have defended the Cleveland Browns. I don't think they've really been disrespecting Shedeur all this time. If they really felt like there were character issues or questions about his, him as a person, then how do you weed through that? Knowing the guy has talent, you take him through the ringers. You take him through the ringers, and if he breaks, he'll show him his true self. And so far, I just feel like he's done what he was supposed to do, come to work, do his job. Now he's the number 2 quarterback right behind Dillon Gabriel. Something goes wrong, Dillon doing bad after 2 or 3 weeks. He gets an opportunity eventually. If Dillon gets hurt, he gets an opportunity. And I'm going to tell y'all now, all Shedeur is waiting on is that first starting opportunity. And if he gets that, you better look out, because I know he's going to do everything in his power to never give it up. Never give it up. Play that well. So we'll see how that all ends up. Everybody getting their shot, though, and that's a good thing. I love that Dillon Gabriel got his shot, and I feel like he passed his first shot, and he got to keep that going. He did a good job. But Shedeur, we'll see. If you get an opportunity, better make the best of it.
So I'll tell you what, folks, we have some more breaking news that just came across the screen, which is interesting. The Baltimore Ravens have been busy. They are signing none other than CJ Gardner-Johnson. Just ended up coming in, a disgruntled player who has had a lot of locker room issues in the past. However, the Ravens said, our defense is so cooked, we need as much help as humanly possible. And here it is. CJ Gardner-Johnson is now a Baltimore Raven. He's being added to the practice squad. I wouldn't be surprised if he did end up getting elevated sooner rather than later. But let's stick with the topic, unless you guys have any burning takes you would like to have with this.
Richie, because I think this is a good move. Baltimore's secondary is cooked. Everybody talking about offense and all that, but their defense has not played Baltimore defense, and that's a major problem of why they've been struggling as well. So I think that he hasn't, and CJ Gardner hasn't been playing well lately, but I think this is a nice element for a physical corner. So we'll see if that has an effect on the team.
So the Ravens defense is on pace to letting up 600 points this year alone, which is absolutely nuts. So bring in the cavalry, make it happen. Richie, thoughts on Shedeur Sanders? When do you think he's going to get the nod to start if Dillon Gabriel cannot help string together a couple of wins for this Cleveland team?
When is Shedeur going to start?
Yes.
Now, I like Dillon Gabriel. I think that he actually looked pretty good. So it's not like if Gabriel stunk in his debut, it'd be one thing. I really do feel like he's going to keep his job, but he's on a short leash, man, because of what you said, I think yesterday, Dan, or whatever you said it. I actually agree with.
I'm not surprised.
I am surprised. I feel like the Browns are going to give Shedeur Sanders an opportunity to play this year for purely evaluation, even if Gabriel's playing well. So, like, say Dillon Gabriel balls out. Do you guys think there's a world where maybe they're not winning, but he's playing well, they're competitive, they win a game, but they lose, that they'll even give Shedeur Sanders his time, even if Gabriel looks good, just for the pure evaluation, so they know in the offseason who's the guy? What do you guys think about that?
So I think he's going to get at least 6 games this year. He's got to get 6.
Who's that? Dillon?
No. Shedeur. It's just so tough for the Browns because, like, while like they're going to be kept close, that defense is such an asset to that team. I think that it's difficult for you to be able to give a final conclusion on the offense. It's tough because like that defense is always going to keep you in games. I do think that he will ultimately end up getting a start. I like where your head's at as far as evaluation, but if, for example, that Gabriel can't like have like an all-star performance, I'm talking like 3 to 4 touchdowns, no picks, like wills the Browns the 30-plus points out of nowhere, I think the writing is on the wall. And I think that the fan base will just continuously get loud and louder. And if the Browns team continues with their losing ways, they're going to have to find a way to become net profitable and still fill seats. So I think that it's more of a money move and being able to sell tickets and merchandise, even if the Browns ultimately do have a record that we're thinking that they will obtain. That's me. That's me, man.
Well, Interesting stuff with the Cleveland Browns. Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. We shall see. I think it's time that we talked about last night's game. Why don't we?
Good.
What a game.
God.
What a game. Dan is pumped up.
I'm jazzed.
I'm jazzed. I think that game last night was just overall a really good football game. Whenever you have a swing like
Weird
that,
game.
a 99-yard pick six, you know how rare that is? That is just electrifying. Like, you know what I mean? Like a play like that, you just love to see. That swing of events goes down to the wire. So listen, you know what? Let me just start with this. I may have been a year too early on the Jaguars. I was a year too early. Hey man, you guys heard me last year.
I knew you were gonna flex this. Hey
man, I was a year too early, man. It just was the coach. It was Doug Peterson. It wasn't anything else but Doug Peterson, man. They get a new coach in the building. The first thing about the Jaguars, this isn't even about Trevor Lawrence, bro. It's about that defense, dude. That's a defense.
There we go.
14 takeaways so far this season. 14. The Jets have none. They lead the NFL with takeaways. That is how you win football games, man. And Trevor Lawrence, and let me just say something about Trevor real quick. I think Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback that you can actually win with and go on a playoff run with a team like that. But that does not mean Trevor Lawrence, I think, is a guy that could level up to be a top 5 or top 10 even quarterback even ever. I think Trevor Lawrence is a good enough, solid quarterback. Like that throw he made to Calvin Ridley, I'm thinking about Cam Ward's throw. That throw he made to BTJ down the right sideline in clutch, that's a big-time NFL winning type of throw. Without that throw, they would have lost that football game. So you look at the numbers, it's underwhelming for Trevor Lawrence, but he stepped up, man, and he won them that football game. And I give Trevor Lawrence a lot of credit, bro. I really, really do. Yeah. Because all you're asking for your quarterbacks is to make winning plays in the clutch, and Trevor Lawrence did just that. And, of course, their defense, man. Jaguars 4-1, Chiefs 2-3. What a game.
Dude, I would disagree. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are winning in spite of Trevor Lawrence. I really do, man. I think that it is the league's greatest mystery this year, how the Jaguars are 4-1. It is puzzling, to say the least. Now, their defense does take the football away, but ironically enough, when you end up looking at some of their advanced metrics, they are ranked 23rd in the league for third down defense. They are toward the bottom of the league in red zone defense, right? Like you can pass all over this team. The good thing is that they have a bunch of athletes out there that are able to take the football away. They really have, really adopted this bend but not break, and we're going to give Trevor Lawrence as many opportunities until he ultimately ends up getting it right. Now, Trevor had some incredible throws, but Trevor also had some crazy gaffes last night, right? He had 2 delay of game penalties right there. A lot of Trevor Lawrence funny gaffes, if you will, leading up into this play of the night. This clumsy fool ends up falling all over himself. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure an offensive lineman stepped on him. But tell me that's not the most Trevor Lawrence play you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, this team is falling ass backwards into a 4-1 record. I love it. I'm here for it. They are fun to watch. They really, really are. I don't think this type of ball is sustainable. I don't. I really don't, man. Trevor is currently a 44.7 QBR this year. All right. The fact that they're 4-1 is absolutely insane. However, they're finding ways to win. They really, really are. And there's a lot of Chiefs narratives in this game that I want to touch on. But let's take our turns giving flowers to one of the teams in the best division in football. Isn't that crazy to say? The Colts.
Yeah, that's another thing, bro. The AFC
the
South
Jaguars,
all of a sudden,
man. And the Houston Texans looking pretty damn good, too, at 2-3. Don't sleep on them.
I think the AFC South is the best division in the AFC, 100% right now.
Yeah. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that if you were to show somebody the current AFC South standings a month ago, that they would take you seriously. They would think that you were trolling. If you showed them the top 7 teams in the AFC, they would think that we were trolling and we were not being serious. It is crazy to think about.
I know.
TD, thoughts on the Trevor Lawrence experiment and the football we've been witnessing from this team as of late.
Everybody knows how I feel about Trevor Lawrence. He's not a good quarterback, but I'm not going to let Dan just throw that much dirt on his name. He was good last night. I'm sorry. He was good last night. Listen, on a scale of 1 to 10 throwing the football, I feel like Trevor Lawrence was a 7 last night, which is good enough. But we don't talk about the element last night that really flipped the game upside down for him, and that was the fact that he ran the ball 10 times for 54 yards. He was actually, when nothing was there or in trouble, he made something out of nothing and ran for 2 touchdowns. We didn't talk about that. So he accounted for 3 touchdowns. And this is what I keep trying to tell the people. I think quarterbacks have gotten the message this offseason because I've seen quarterbacks that never really make it a part of their game to run actually run now. Like trying to intentionally, let me go get this. Let me not just do what I've been doing. Trevor's one, Herbert's another. These guys are out here using their legs because it gives their team a whole new element. And that's the key in today's NFL, having that extra element that on third and whatever, when nothing's there, don't just throw the ball away. Don't just make a bad throw. Man, let me go to option C and maybe see what I can do with my legs. And guys are discovering, wow, we're actually picking up some third downs that otherwise we wouldn't have. So Trevor was amazing last night. You look at small contributions last night. I thought Brian Thomas, made some key plays at key moments, and Travis Hunter on the right on both sides of the football.
He finally made an impact.
Travis Hunter on offense,
Finally.
not only catching, some big passes, but catching the ball shallow and making guys miss. But the defense as well. Nobody's talking about, they were lining him up on Travis Kelce a lot of the night. Nobody's talking to. They put the big Travis Kelce on the little Hunter, and I guess that was some schematic thing. And after the first play of the game, no PI called, and he kind of locked him down every time he was on him. But I also saw him in that secondary on other guys playing great coverage. So his impact is obviously being felt low key. And when you look at that team, man, they got weapons across that defense all over. It's crazy, man. These guys were flying.
Can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with what I had to say about Trevor from this standpoint? That he's not the quarterback that's ever going to be one of the better ones in the NFL. But with the team that is built around him and a coaching staff that is around him, I think he's good enough to win games. He's proved to win. He already has a playoff win. I know that game, you can break down what happened in that game, but I feel like Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback. He's good enough to go out there and go on a playoff run if the team around him is playing this good. Like, he's not that much of a scrub is what I'm trying to say. Like, people paint Trevor Lawrence as trash. I think he's better than that. I think he's good enough to win football games with the team playing that well around him. That's
I've never said he was trash. I just put him in that category that he's good enough not to be good enough. Richie, you say go on a playoff run. Going on a playoff run means winning 2 playoff games at a minimum.
Yeah, potentially. I know that's a very unrealistic, but I think he's already proven to win a playoff game. So, I think that
another guy that had to go on a run. So it's 2 guys so one of them had to win. I don't know.
So he also put himself in that exact same situation with that playoff win. He threw 4 picks in the first half. He dug his own hole.
Exactly.
He was able to come up, but so here's the deal, right? Yes, I understand that he's had a couple of good throws, big time throws. I can't think of a single quarterback that's ever existed, trash or a future Hall of Famer, that has not made incredible, impactful plays, at least at one point during their career. My thing is that, yes, he looks like, oh my God, I think this Jaguars team could be something, but we have to understand something. His defense has given him 14 extra possessions. Yeah. Of course. Of course. The more possessions you get, the more opportunities you're going to have to catch the defense sleeping, right? So all I'm saying is when you end up looking at this offense as a whole unit, they're not top 10 in running or passing the football at all, but they're leveraging some of the greater field positions that their defense is giving them. I think they can turn it around, right? Maybe I'm scorned because I've given him 5 plus 6 years for him to finally live up to the bill of being a first overall pick. I just don't think that this type of ball that they're playing is sustainable. Like, maybe it is. Last year, their defense was exactly the Buffalo Bills. Was a team that had a hard time stopping third down, but miraculously, we'd walk away with 1 to 2 turnovers each and every single game. That is what their defense is. I don't know.
And Mahomes just not that good, like I keep telling y'all. But y'all,
one thing. Moving on over to the Kansas City Chiefs. Last year, in fact, I think all of us were in agreement. Well, maybe with the exception of Richie. Last year, the Kansas City Chiefs were 11-0 in one-score games. Right? Guess what they are this year in one-score games?
Probably
0-3.
Yeah.
0-3. Everyone thought that we were absolutely nuts when we sat down and we said, look, a little bit of luck went into play for the Kansas City Chiefs. This is the exact same team as last year, but the ball, unfortunately, is just not bouncing their way like it was last year. Now, I've seen the crumbling of the LA Chargers. They've lost 2 back-to-back with Joe Alt being out. I think that was the straw that breaks the camel's back. I think this Chiefs team is still as good as they were last year. I think that they can still figure it out offensively. I think Patrick Mahomes is playing at an utmost level, but nothing has changed from this team. They are the exact same team in my eyes, but they were playing the numbers game, and the numbers game is turned against them this year. Can they end up reverting back to their one-score clutch ways? I'm confident that they will. But one of the biggest storylines here was last night, one of their best players, Chris Jones, is getting a lot of crap last night, and I would really like to hear all of your thoughts on this. During Trevor Lawrence's touchdown run, I want you to pay close attention to Chris Jones, right? At this point, you're seeing him. There he is, right there.
Oh, man.
Walks in. We're going to watch it again right here. Just lollygags right in and watches Trevor Lawrence march into the field. I'm not saying that he would have had a good angle to take him down. Maybe he thought that the Chiefs took him down, right? It's easy to say in the heat of the moment that we would have done things differently. But, I mean, come on, dude. You are, all right, one of the highest paid players on this roster. And that's the type of effort that you're putting out on the field right now. I would be livid. I would be absolutely livid if I was a Chiefs fan and I watched that kind of effort. TD, thoughts on that?
That's bad. Listen, man, he's getting older, man. He's getting older. This whole Chiefs dynasty, so a lot of them guys getting older. They got some youth on the team, but those dogs from the past, man, they getting older. And that effort at the end of the game is just like, I mean, and I don't want to hear it from a Chiefs fan. How do you know he wasn't in the spot defense? Stop. Please stop. That was bad effort. And I don't know, maybe he was hurt. I have no clue, and I wouldn't be on the field if you're going to give that type of effort. It should have been all motors on in such a critical moment in the game. So Andy Reid got to deal with that. That's on Andy Reid, but hey, he probably going to be retiring soon too. So it's just not a bad look for the Chiefs. And they actually were fighting hard last night. Let's not forget, they were putting a lot of effort into trying to actually win that game. It just didn't work out for them because the Jacksonville Jaguars defense and Patrick Mahomes turning the football over, not only turning it over, but giving up 6 points in the process, killed them. That was the backbreaker in that game, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I understand that, hey, they did their business and they still went down and took care of business, but that was a backbreaker, man. And it started after half. Wasn't it 14-0 at one point early on?
Yeah.
It was 14-0, and they had a 2-score lead going into the fourth.
Yeah, and that defense start clamping up and giving that offense for the Jags an opportunity to start making plays. You know, I feel like Travis Hunter kind of sparked that with a few plays, and then it was everybody got involved. But yeah, man, Chris, boy, I could only imagine how does Andy Reid address that effort in that play.
It's some people are saying, oh, and so he must have been injured, but somebody that was injured wouldn't the following morning delete all of their social media. Dude deleted everything. Like, dude deleted every single piece of social media this morning. That's not a guy to me that has a calf injury, right? Like, maybe he'll show up on the, report. That right there was just piss poor effort. Yeah. I'm sorry.
What's your guys' now with the Chargers losing and the Chiefs still not winning, who do you guys got winning the AFC West? Still the Chargers?
I still have the Chiefs.
Yeah, I still got the Chargers. They're going to get some confidence this week, even though that O-line is banged up. We're one of the worst pass rushing units in the NFL.
You're like, you attached to a team, so there's no worries for the Chargers after losing to the Giants and then losing last week.
No,
to the Commanders.
The Giants playing to their strengths with the pass rush. And I just feel like they're going to get some confidence this week and get yet another win to get back on track. That's all. Dolphins. That's why I'm saying
yeah, you're right.
I'm not saying
that's a get right game if I've seen one.
I'm not
where's your you wearing your Herbert jersey for the watch party?
Well, I don't have a Herbert jersey. I wish he had a Dolphins jersey. I wish he was a Dolphin, but I don't have a Herbert jersey. But I know our defensive line. Listen, do you know Carolina's O-line? They haven't been great either.
So you have the Chargers winning the AFC West. Dan has the Chiefs, but the chat's also mentioning the Broncos after beating the undefeated Eagles. Could the Denver Broncos get hot? But they got a really tough game this week, though. It's going to be a big, big test for the Broncos. If they win this week, I'll say that. But if they don't, no.
See, here's the deal, man. Like
the team they're versing this week, do you know who they're versing?
The Broncos?
Yeah.
No, who are they playing?
They're in London against the Jets.
Yeah, they finna get a win too. So
yeah. So the Broncos will advance the 4-2. Looking for hey, who knows, man, dude? One of these days, bro, we're living in a league where we saw the Cleveland Browns beat the Green Bay Packers, right?
But then it's the Jets. It's the Jets, bro.
We're not going winless, bro. We're gonna get one.
I don't think that the Jets are as bad as that they are going to go winless.
Ben, you ain't been watching the last 5 weeks.
I know I haven't, but bro, clock's right twice a day, right?
This one just broke. Matter of fact, when it's time to be right, it moves. I don't know. This is the Jets.
It's bad. I get it. They are bad, but it's
everything.
Dude, it's 2 wins.
The Titans got that Titans win. We're gonna get one of those. The way the Titans won, a miracle.
Dude. All right. So with TD, some team's going to shoot themselves in the foot against the Jets. Some team's going to get 20 penalties, 3 miraculous turnovers, and just beat themselves.
I mean, that is how the Jets are 0-5, though, Dan. The Jets are 0-5 because we've done exactly what you just said for 5 straight weeks. Shot ourselves in the foot. We're literally handing these games away. That's the identity of the Jets. That's how we lose. We play good football, but then we turn the ball over, play penalties, so we can never win that way. But that's my little evaluation. But back to the Broncos and the AFC West. Is there a world, obviously the Broncos are the favorite, most likely going to win. They get to 4-2. Are the Broncos a team to watch? I don't know, man. The AFC West is heating up. If the Chiefs won last night, it would have been more of a heated up, but.
So the thing is, and the Kansas City Chiefs are welcoming Detroit right in the Arrowhead this weekend too. So how confident are we?
I feel like the Chiefs are the best against I feel like the Chiefs are better against teams like the Lions and the Ravens and good teams than bad teams recently.
So they play down to their competition is what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. Who do they play? Yeah, the Ravens. They beat the Ravens. I know the Ravens are bad now, but that game just showed me whatever. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I still feel like this division is going to come down to the Chiefs. I don't know. I'm not coming away from that game last night thinking they're playing bad football. I think they actually played good football, but they played, of course, that backbreaking pick six cannot happen in the end zone. And shout out to Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd played that just like how everybody that plays Madden, when you user the linebacker, that's how you play defense in Madden. You crowd the line of scrimmage, show that you're showing blitz, and then you bail out and just completely pick off a slant over the middle. That is like a Madden wet dream for people that play Madden and user the linebacker over the middle of the field. What a play from Devin Lloyd, who leads the NFL with 4 interceptions. Could he be the defensive player of the year? You never know. But a lot of stuff, a lot of storylines coming out of last week's game last night's game. But there was some games that we did not get to on Sunday. And arguably the best game of the entire week we didn't get to talk about that I wanted to break down with you guys.
What's that?
The Buccaneers and the Seahawks. That was a great game. I don't know if you guys watched it, but that was like fantastic football by all accounts. You're talking about there's so much storyline with this quarterback matchup. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, first overall pick, third overall pick in the same draft. They were both on the same team of the Carolina Panthers. Like when you think of a quarterback trying to refine themselves, you come to Baker and Sam as the two examples that's done it. And what a game, dude. They both completely balled out of their minds. I mean, I'm just going to quickly remind you guys the numbers of both quarterbacks in this game because it was off the charts. Starting with Baker Mayfield. Baker, 88% completion percentage, 379 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 134 rating. Like a near perfect stat line for Baker Mayfield. And then Sam Darnold also had a great game until he turned it over at the end. 83% for Sam, 341 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, a 135 rating, and an interception that unfortunately lost the Seahawks the game. My goodness. I mean, that was phenomenal football, man. That really, really was. And it came down to that fluky turnover from Sam. It really does. How high are you guys on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Is this a team that you think can be a Super Bowl threat, or should I say an NFC to come out of the NFC threat? Because they're playing really good football right now. And so are the Seahawks. I'm coming away from that game with the Seahawks. They lost, but that was impressive, bro. They played really good. Sam was making plays all over the place that I think that may have been Sam's best game minus, that back-breaking turnover at the end in terms of like the types of throws he was making. So what was your guys' thoughts of this game, TD?
This is one of those shootout slugfests. Both teams just execute at a high level. Both teams know how to put up points. That was a back-breaking turnover at the end of the game by Sam, but he did have a lights-out game. I went back and watched the condensed version of the game.
And the ball hit the helmet he threw it, hits the helmet, and then it ricochets up, and then it just gifts them free.
So you're saying
points.
That was a perfect pass, though?
No, it's a bad pass, but just one of those turnovers that's just like.
No, I get it. And then it sucks because you play so well all day. You make some big-time throws. You compete the entire time against a guy who's known to compete in Baker Mayfield. Sam's making a name for himself, it's guys like Sam and Gino. I'm like, listen, they ain't going to do nothing against the good teams. Well, guess what? You just played the Bucs. Last year with Minnesota, the good teams, he didn't look good. Against the Bucs, even though that was a back-breaking interception, hey, you held your own. You look good. The team wasn't carrying. You were making big-time throws. So that always improves the stock for me. And this is why I try to tell people I'm not being biased when it comes to quarterbacks. Don't be the reason your team loses. But I will say this about Sam. That hurt the team at the end, but he was one of the major reasons they were even in the game because of the way that he played throughout the game. But Baker Mayfield, man, you talk about a success story. They got to do a 30. They got to do a 30 for 30, man. You know how the Browns ruin quarterbacks. The one person who made it out of the Browns to succeed. You might want to, hey man, we might want to get those rights now. But
you know what I found out about Baker Mayfield?
What's that?
When I was on the event with Jake, the Rams guy, he told me, the rumors of Sean McVay almost retiring?
I don't.
After that season and the year after they won the Super Bowl and Sean McVay was contemplating even hanging it up, people were like, how would you retire? You're so young. And he credits someone, Sean McVay's public about it, of who helped him refine the love of the game to stay coaching. And that was Baker Mayfield.
Wow. Baker
going to the Rams and having that one game kind of apparently sparked something in Sean McVay to keep going. And I thought that was interesting.
Interesting. That's interesting.
That could be added to the 30 for 30, which is what made me think of that when you mentioned it.
Yeah, what people don't realize, the man threw for 88% completion percentage in this game, almost 400
yards. It was like 23
yards.
for 25, I think.
No, 29 for 33. Like he only had 4 completions out of 33 passes. But just phenomenal, man. These are the games that you love in the NFL. I want y'all to really think about that. Think about the product of the NFL this year. Have we not had a lot of good games and primetime good games? It's been exciting, man. Good stuff.
That pisses me off hearing that, not going to lie. Now, I want to show you guys something. I want to play a game. Can you predict and guess? And Dan, if you can remove your shared screen, I'm going to share this on my end. Just click remove on yours. The top 5 graded quarterbacks according to PFF, and then the bottom 5. So first, who's the highest graded quarterback according to PFF? Number 1.
Sam Darnold.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is actually not in the top 5. I would assume he'd be right outside of it. Number
Daniel
2.
Jones.
So I
Daniel
said Sam
Jones.
Darnold because I knew that there was a reason that Richie brought this game up. That like one of his narratives had to be proven. So I assumed that Sam Darnold was a slam
I'm not
dunk.
bringing it up just for that because this is another reason why I brought it up.
Go ahead.
The bottom ranked, the 32nd ranked quarterback. It's blowing my mind that this guy is the last quarterback ranked. He's on a team that is in first place, and I don't think you'll guess it.
Daniel
First place in
Jones.
their division. No,
Is it Josh Allen?
no. Josh Allen's 4, so he's in the top.
Josh Allen is 4.
Yeah.
Number 4, top 5. Come on. Now we surprised?
Is the starting quarterback, played all the games, and
I know
he's a
somebody sent me a joke.
50.4 PFF grade.
So it's a name. So it's a name that we would. Oh, it's got to be Trevor Lawrence.
No.
Yeah, he's not even in first place.
A rookie?
First place. Let me think. All right, so it's not the Bills.
Second year Mac?
No, it's someone that's
Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Aaron
Aaron Rodgers
32.
is
Wow.
last with this team.
Wow.
So here's the top 10, the top 5, and the bottom 5 that I saw from U Stadium posting. So you got Sam, Matt Stafford, Dak, Josh Allen, Jordan Love in the top 5. And then the bottom 5 is Geno, Bo Nix, Cam Ward, Jake Browning, and Aaron Rodgers.
When did they post this?
This is after this week.
Yeah, I just looked.
But this is where you have to like evaluate PFF's grading system. Like how? Like what goes into these grades, bro?
Go look at it. Go look into the details of it.
Yeah, I know you can, right? I just find it interesting that Aaron Rodgers is last when they're winning. Like he's not impacting that team, I guess, as much as we thought. So
PFF, man. You know, some people love their rating system, others don't, right? But
it's true.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to celebrate it. So they got my QB top 5. I love it. Anyway, folks, we need to tell you about Sleeper Picks. It's the #1 player prop platform on the market today. Well, the Buffalo Bills lost last Sunday. I actually hit my parlay, so that at least, it provided some medicine to my heartbreak on Sunday evening. I ended up going with a 4-leg parlay. It all ended up hitting, and I saw a crazy payout. You could be experiencing the exact same thing. Fun fact, now you can actually just get a free $20 for just signing up in general. No deposit needed. If you end up utilizing that initial deposit, then you're going to get it matched up to 100%, all the way up to $100. Guys, certainly go check out Sleeper Picks. I've been waiting for people to screenshot their parlays and send them over to us on X. I'm always interested and to see who knows ball or who doesn't, right? So go on ahead and take advantage of this awesome promo, a free $20 just for signing up. Terms and conditions apply, and obviously always play responsibly. Shout out to Sleeper, a proud partner of Fourth and Forever. Thank you.
Sleeper.
Woo! Sleepy.
Sleeper. Appreciate Sleeper for sponsoring the show. $20 for free. Can't go wrong with that. All right, let's get into some Patreon callers. We got DF Forever up next.
What's going on, guys? What's new?
What's up?
man? How you
What's
doing?
up?
TD, I think they said back in the late 70s or early 80s that the world will fall due to misinformation and AI. Are we headed that way?
Pretty well. We already there. We're already there.
Already there.
Yeah, we've arrived.
Good. As far I forget the name of the defensive lineman for Kansas City Chiefs. There was a lot
Jones.
of misinformation that went out after that as far as why he just kind of walked in the end zone. But I did late last night take a look at the coaching when they were talking about it after the game. that defensive line was gassing the drive before. In fact, if you watch the highlights, they even say that Kansas City's defense was gassing the line before. And I think just because of the pace that the Jaguars were playing, they were having problems rotating defensive tackles, and that would have a lot of big reason why that big guy was at it that way. Richie, I have some advice for you.
What's up, man?
You ready for this, buddy? If Tony starts laughing about how bad your team is, just play the music. DF forever, out.
I love it. I love it. Shout out, Dwayne.
What music? I ain't ask you, Richie. Don't play it. Whatever you talking about. Y'all setting me up.
Hey, man, just wait for it. I mean, listen, you can clown as the Jets, but like come on now. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know what I mean? All right, next up is Sergeant Moonshine. What up, Sarge?
What's up, Sarge?
Sarge.
You're muted, brother.
Oh, yeah, I just realized that I was muted. How are we doing today?
Great.
Good, man. What's up?
So I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday at work. He's a Washington Commanders fan, and we were talking about like our conferences, our divisions, and all that. The NFC, I feel for the most part, is kind of what we'd expect. I mean, Philly's 4-1. They're kind of not really playing to their standard, but they're still kind of, I feel, to be the favorites right now. The NFC, you got teams like the Bucks who are showing out in the NFC South, who are playing pretty well. Probably going to lose somewhere in the divisional rounds. Basically, I'm trying to say NFC kind of feel like it's about what we expect. AFC, I feel like has went complete 180 this year. Me and my buddy were talking about it, like trying to figure out who we feel is doing the best in the AFC right now, and who we think can make the playoff runs. Of course, right now, I still think it's the Bills. I think the Bills are going to be the ones that are the heavy favorites to really make the deep push to the Super Bowl. Indy is on a great run, but we'll have to see what Daniel Jones does if he continues to play how he plays. Chiefs aren't doing great. They just lost to the Jags. The Bengals, they're going to be without Joe Burrow for a while, so I'm assuming they're going to probably be going down pretty hard. I'm just kind of curious. What's y'all's stance on the AFC? Who do y'all think is going to make the deep playoff run? Who's going to kind of like choke it at the end of the season? But that's all I was kind of wondering on. Like, what is y'all's take on the AFC? What do y'all think is going to happen at the end of the season when we get to the playoffs?
Thanks for the call, and thanks for the question. Fantastic question. I feel like the AFC is as upside down as you can imagine. You know
so I got two teams specifically. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think that they might win their division, like based off of various injuries. I think that they will be one and done in the playoffs, like per usual. I think they have the exact same team with Aaron Rodgers, like basically. So I think that team is probably going to suffer a similar fate. I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars, as mentioned previously, I don't think their style of football is sustainable. I think that they will hit a pretty cruel reality, although I think that they'll probably end up squeezing in as a wild card. So not particularly buying into them. I am, however, buying into the Indianapolis Colts. I don't think that the Colts are frauds at all. Not so much Indiana Jones, but more so what their defensive coordinator has been able to accomplish with that defense. I'd probably agree with you. I still think that Buffalo has a really good shot at making a push. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to pick it up, and I think that they will also make a pretty significant push as well.
Wait a second. Who's the first seed on this, TD? Look who's the first seed.
Listen, man, I said this.
He's been trying to tell y'all. He's been trying to tell y'all.
Trying to tell y'all this from the beginning, but
and then the Colts are the best team in the NFL.
I knew what time it was, man. I said, man, the way I saw Daniel Jones throwing that football, I was like, this ain't Daniel Jones, man. And look at the Colts. In another team whose defense is leading the way. That defense is phenomenal too. People need to look at that. Look at that column. Points allowed 89. 89 points allowed. That makes them third in the conference, behind Denver and Houston. Oh, look at Houston. I didn't even realize. That's crazy. That's amazing.
Yeah. And the point differential is also a crazy stat. Plus 74 are the Cardinals.
Look at how many points they're putting up. More than anybody. More than anybody.
Yeah.
That's
points
crazy.
differential is very, very impressive. And you have the Bengals sitting there as the 8th seed with the negative 71 point differential somehow. The Steelers are 3-1 with a negative 2 point differential, and the Chargers are at 0.
Wow,
interesting
right there.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so a negative 2
interesting
point
stuff.
differential is crazy.
And that's still a good defense by the Chargers too. When you look at it, their offense is struggling.
Steelers, man. So, yeah, this is the AFC. I think, if you look at it, say the season ended today, the Jaguars, Broncos, Patriots are the wild card teams. I feel like the teams that are outside of this right now that are going to be contending for those spots are the Texans, Chiefs, and the Ravens. So, it's going to be a tight race. This really is.
And so the Raiders at a minus 56 point differential is awful.
Yeah. Terrible, dude. Way worse than 45.
Pete Carroll and them boys in silver and black.
In the NFC, you got a little more straightforward, I feel like. But
Lions with a plus 62 point differential is nasty.
holy. The
It
NFC is way better
nasty.
than the AFC this year.
Yeah,
That's-
which is crazy because it's always been the AFC. It's always been that.
Yeah.
That's where all of the quality quarterbacks go.
The Cardinals are at a +7, and they're 2-3 and have lost 3 straight.
Funny enough, I feel like what this suggests here, because I think we can all agree that the AFC is still the quarterback mecca, right?
I mean, I'm starting to feel like it's evening out.
compared.
I don't think it's evening out, but it's getting better in the NFC though.
Yeah. So I feel like if anything, what this proves is that it's not so much a quarterback league anymore. It's more about like who has the most well-balanced squad. It's not so much like who has the best QB, like that's going to get you over the hump. It's more so like who has like the most well-diversified and well-balanced attack all across the field. Best example is the Philadelphia Eagles. Next would be the San Francisco 49ers, for God's sakes, right? Like whoever the quarterback is over there, you know? Like they are just that deep and that well coached. Yeah. Like say you were to put a top 10 QB list out there, I think 7 of them are AFC quarterbacks.
Do you guys see
Would y'all agree on
Dallas? Yeah, I agree. I think this is more roster based. I mean, even the Lions.
Yeah,
Jared Goff is great.
well
but,
balanced squads. Yeah.
like who's gonna? So correct me if I'm wrong. When's the last MVP that was in the NFC?
I have no
don't know.
idea.
You gotta look it up.
Think of the last MVPs: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Mahomes. Who are the other MVPs that are missing?
It's been
Aaron
Mahomes,
Rodgers.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers was the last one.
Yeah, Rodgers was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Packers back to back in early 2020s. But Rodgers is not there anymore, and he's not great anymore. So it just, like these are all roster-based teams. Like there's still no MVP quarterback. If Baker Mayfield keeps going on a heater, he can be a dark horse for the MVP.
Yeah, but let's not act like these teams most of them aren't getting MVP type play. I mean, San Francisco with their quarterback hurt, look at what Mac Jones was just able to do. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield playing at a high level. We already know Jared Goff is Jared Goff playing at a high level. Jordan Love, hit or miss in my opinion, but still a good quarterback. And Seattle, Sam Darnold's playing at a high level. So at the end of the day, these quarterbacks are still playing at a high level.
Has Jaden Daniels like kind of disappointed? I mean, he got hurt. He's getting back.
He's
healthy.
been hurt. Yeah, he missed 2 games, and he had a pretty signature win, I think, last week.
Did they just have a big win?
Big
Yeah.
win, yeah.
Yeah, signature against the LA Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, listen, I think that he's fine. He's going to pick up exactly where he left off. As soon as when Scary Terry McLaurin comes back, that's going to be interesting. But, yeah, dude.
What a great website
All right.
this is.
Lino, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's
we
up,
good,
man?
We good. Talk to us.
Hey, man, I mean, kind of shocked by the Jags, you know what I mean? Seeing what they're doing, 4-1. I don't know if are they the real deal or frauds, you know what I mean? Like how Miami was years ago. TD, man, I see yesterday, man, your lips was moving, but you were speaking a bunch of gibberish. Couldn't understand you.
Yeah, man.
You're more like a 1970 kung fu flick. You must revenge the Miami Dolphins or something, but I guess you must not have to say it's not important. So I'm glad that kind of went through good. You know what I mean? So other than that, let's go Bills. Season's still good, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, Bills.
Thanks,
Let's go,
Lino, man.
Bills. Them
Thank you,
Dolphins.
Lino.
You know what I
They in
just
the mix,
realized?
baby. They in the mix.
You know, I didn't even realize until like Lino said the Jaguars, and I'm literally. Funny thing is too is I'm staring at it in my face. The Buffalo Bills have the same exact record as the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah,
I know.
I
And
even
the same exact. Same
and the
exact
Colts,
one as
but
the-
I knew that, but like the Bills have been talked about as this like juggernaut, unbeatable, but I don't know. It's clicking. Maybe TD's onto something. What have the Bills proven this year that shows better than the Colts and Jags?
I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Until they get a real quality win, you can't believe in the Bills. Until they get a real.
Who you got this
quality
week,
win,
Bills?
man.
Who you got this week? Let me guess. The Titans.
We have the Atlanta Falcons. So,
See what I'm talking about?
so the thing is, like, what have the Buffalo Bills proven? Like, we basically have the exact same roster as last year, and we've lost 2 games in the month of November and December within the past 4 years, like 5
they got
years.
to
Like,
do
we
with
just
the
don't
point.
lose. Like, we don't lose in November and December.
Yeah,
So,
we know because you don't play good teams in November, December.
So the Lions and the Chiefs last year at 15 wins weren't a good
You know
team.
what? That was a quality win last year, Dan. I give you
It's
that.
2
The
quality
Lions win. The Chiefs ain't quality. They
There's
ain't
2
good.
quality wins last year.
The Chiefs
There's 2
washed.
quality wins.
Um,
Look, it's
Guess who their next 2 games are? You got Atlanta, bye week, and then Carolina.
and who after that? Who after that?
Chiefs.
And right after that,
Dolphins.
us? Oh yeah. And then after that, they got the Patriots again.
Tampa Bay.
Oh, that's a hold on. Chiefs, Dolphins, Tampa Bay.
Houston. Pittsburgh.
5 losses in a row.
Bengals with Joe Burrow back.
6.
all
Keep
right.
them
All
rolling.
right.
And then Patriots, Browns, Eagles,
Then they start winning. Then they 9. I'm like,
Jets.
Listen, y'all, yeah, they ain't beating. Yeah. Then I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all going 2-8 the next 10. Y'all might
All
just go 2-8.
Say that you're
And I'm
right.
just realizing this, dude. The cheapest ticket to go to the Chiefs Bills game is guess how
Yeah.
much?
$700.
$422. Just still wild.
$422. Damn.
Crazy
Just
word.
go there and pay like $30 for a beer. You know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah. So that's not true.
2-8
Say that
on
the
the way.
Buffalo
Bills.
Bills go 2-8, then I will shave my head. I will shave my head if the Buffalo
All right,
Bills
well,
go 2-8.
Let's get Parks in the building. What up, Parks?
What's up, Parks?
What up, fellas?
man.
Oh, what's up?
I was looking at that standing that y'all had, man. Yes, the mecca of quarterbacks are in the AFC. Let's be honest here. Like, the best quarterback in the NFC right now is probably Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Probably. And I'm sorry. Even though they're playing like crap, I take Lamar over him. I take Josh Allen over him. I'm taking a couple quarterbacks in the AFC over him. You know, that's just what it is. And, you know, the Jaguars, that was a hell of a win last night. But I've been telling people this for the past couple of years. Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked good. They've been going off the backs of their defense. off the back of that defense for some odd reason. Like that's why they's winning Super Bowls for the past like 2-3 years. It wasn't Patrick Mahomes, it was their defense. And it's starting to show up now. Hopefully they can come back to contention and all that. But Bills fans, I'm still on y'all asses. I'm sorry. Well, 90% of y'all, I'm sorry, Dan, that 10%, Lino, all y'all, the respectable Bills fans, y'all just gonna have to be the casualties at war in this situation. I heard Bills fans tell me on Twitter, talking about that we won our Super Bowl against the Bills. First of all, them words shouldn't even come out your mouths. I'm going to tell you, Bills fans. I'm going to tell you, Bills fans, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to go how you get a ring. I'm going to tell you how you get your ring. You go to the grocery store. Those little bubble gum machines that you put your little 25 cents in. Put your little 25 cents in. Spin it, and your ring gonna come out of there. Cause you ain't getting one. And I'm out of here, fellas. Appreciate it.
Gotta love Parks, dude. What a legend.
Yeah. Yo, where did TD go?
It's not a show. It's not Fourth and Forever without TD Finch.
So I love like how like he was mid-sentence and like he was trying to pretend like his internet cut out or something like that. But like he did that on purpose. Like that was his strategy. He was like, "Oh, maps out." That's what it is.
Yeah, that was no internet.
That right there was just perfect. I'm dipping out of this show, and if anyone asks, my internet went out. Damn.
Oh, wow. Well,
damn.
I guess that means we should wrap this up then, Dan.
That's exactly what it means. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to an electrifying show, man. We discussed some quarterback changes in the AFC North. We unpacked ad nauseum that thriller of a game last night. And tomorrow we'll be transitioning over into some previews, which I'm super excited about. Dan, will the Canes win the Natty? Here for Bob. Gotcha, brother. As far as the Miami Hurricanes, I mean, so far Carson Beck has been proving me wrong, right? Like he's not really anywhere near as much of a liability as he was last year in Georgia. We'll see, man. It's tough for me to really identify a good college football team right now. I think Ohio State probably still has it, but we shall see. Smash that like 161 watching, only 56 likes. That breaks my heart. That breaks my heart, especially now that I know that we have 201 people watching. That is the name of the game. How about Chaz Brown? He threw an illegal forward pass. Chaz Brown, $2.
Who did?
Interesting. This is a question for all of you. And do you think that it's time for the Jets to rebuild? And do you think it's time for the Miami Dolphins for a rebuild? So the Jets are already in a rebuild.
Yeah.
So the Jets are already in a rebuild. I would probably categorize this as year one. Next year, when a lot of roster casualties hit our social media feeds, that will be like some more clear. And the Dolphins have been in desperate need of a rebuild. Like, I hope that they start at the trade deadline here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and speaking of the trade deadline, there's a report, bro. I think the Jets are going to be selling everybody at the deadline. Like, really? I don't think we're going to have to wait for the offseason. I think there's going to be a fire sale for the Jets potentially. They're going to just say, hey, all the people we don't see a future, instead of getting rid of them in the offseason, let's see if we can get any type of return, even if it's late round picks. So if there's anybody that's of interest on the Jets, call Darren Muji. The only ones that's untouchable is Garrett Wilson. And Sauce. I know he's not playing well, but I still don't want to trade him. But that's all other conversation. Trevor, Eli Manning, says Red Hood. Hey, that's an interesting comparison. Trevor is Eli Manning. Well, we'll see if he can go out there and win 2 Super Bowls. We shall see. And someone in the chat also says, Richie, Knicks trade for Giannis. I just made a video about that news. If you guys want to check me out, just shameless plug real quick, Dan, if you don't mind. I just uploaded a video on my Knicks Media YouTube channel. No. There's a rumor about it that came out that they were talking about Giannis in August, and there was interest. Giannis said he wants to be a Knick, and there was a trade conversation happening in August that has stopped, but I don't think it's not going to stop. Remember when Luka got traded in the middle of the season? No one saw that one coming. So we'll see. We'll save the basketball talk for Knicks Media. Go check me out over there, folks. But we're wrapping it up now, Dan. Appreciate everybody in the chat, as always, for the super chats and the kind words. I'm out of here. Dan's out. Go check. And the last thing I'll just say, folks, if you guys can do us a favor, go tune in tonight. All of the divisional shows. We have 5 divisional shows tonight. NFC West, NFC East, AFC South that we're talking about. Big time show for them tonight. NFC South as well. AFC West. They got 5 shows tonight. So go check them out across the network. We would appreciate that big time. And then Miami Vibe sends a $2 sticker of Mike McDaniels working at Starbucks. We'll see you guys later. We're out of here.